It is the very first stream of the year. And to kick it off, I decided a little upgrade was in order for the stream. I now bought a ridiculous... I'm not going to say how much money I spent, but I got it on sale. That's what I told my wife, at least. New lighting. So it should look... the green screen should be pretty darn sharp. At least when I'm in the studio. Now, I still game stream a little bit on the nights, doing a Age of Empires 4. You know, we'll get into New Year's resolutions here in a little bit. But, yeah, that's what we're kind of looking at. So we should see a little bit more clarity, less artifacting and little gray areas on the side. Like, I mean, there's a little bit of bleed there, but not much. That's pretty darn good for green screen work, and I think we're going to leave it there. I might be a little bit late. How you doing, Faye? There is a stream today, and I'm New Year's resolution, more streams. Just more streams. That's my resolution is. Starting off, we'll get into some goals too. 636, thanks for the prime. A little bit late, but man, your timing was impeccable, Faye. Impeccable. I think we should probably kick this off, huh? Let's reboot into old Windows. And look, there was another really big pull request that I really wanted to get to. Yeah, I think there's always a good saying too, that I absolutely love this saying. I either win or I learn. So if you're winning all the time, you're not really learning anything. So be okay with losing from time to time. All right, let me pull this up. Let's see what we got from our GitHub. Let's actually check. What was my contributions this past year? I want to say I hit almost 1,000, but yeah, 800 was the final tally for 2023, and we're gonna try and double that. Try and get up to yeah, 801 contributions for 2023. What was 2022? 741. I mean, it started trickling along. I think I really started using GitHub in probably 2019, I'd say. Yeah. I had my GitHub account all the way back then, but 2020 is when I really started contributing. And then that was when right here is when I started to build the Windows 10 script. And it was just a PowerShell script then that I uploaded, and then I slowly build it out. So this will be the first contribution of 2024. Yeah, 1K should be pretty easy. 1,500, that's going to be a stretch goal, but I think it's achievable. Yeah, something for Linux. I don't know. A good project for Linux. I would love like a Rust project or something like that, because like programming in Rust in Linux is extremely fun. I remember just the one day I was doing it, it felt great, and I really enjoyed it. So yeah, definitely would. I just need to figure out what project would be. What would people really want and use to program? And that's would be fun. All right, let's see what we got. Pull request. There was one big one from Conti. Oh, this was an interesting one. This way, no more mismatches between XAML and JSON files. Everything is driven through the JSON file. No need to modify the XAML file anymore. And this is really cool. This would make it so you no longer have to change two files. But my word, look at this. It grabs it all in and syncs it. Let's look at the... Does it completely get rid of it? I think he completely makes it all... I mean, does it work? I think we go ahead and accept this commit, and let's just see what happens, because it's a very interesting way of doing it, and I would love not to edit that stupid XAML file anymore. And Conti was the mind behind the micro Win expansion. Now, as far as applications.json, whatever, we'll do that later. So that's just here. Yeah, It's just the XAML file. There's really not that much changes. There's not very many new lines of code in here. If we look at main, it's really not that much. It looks like a massive change, but really it doesn't. It's really not that much of a change. Let's accept it, approve it, and test it out on our test branch here. Squash and merge this, and then I want to launch our test branch and see what we have. Man, chili does sound good today. It's freezing here in Texas. I went and worked out just like an hour ago in the cold. It's about 40 degrees Fahrenheit. I don't know, like 3 or 4 Celsius. Ugh. I hate the cold. I'd love to just live in a tropical environment year round. Oh, let's see. All right. With that merged, I want to test out our test project now. Let's just grab down or pull down all those changes. Fetch and pull. And then we'll see it. Oh, where are you at, Monk? Tommy, negative 23 Celsius. Oh, man, making my bones hurt just saying it out loud, much less experiencing it. Oh, my hat is off to you, good sir. I would not be going outside. All right, let's try that. Oh, it's actually warmer in Italy than here. Okay. Oh, man. All right. Let's jump over and try this out. See the loveliness of it. We'll do a compile real fast just to make sure we have compile works. WinUtil. Everything looks good there. Load came up perfectly. Man. I don't know, guys. That looks pretty darn good. Let's just like do a reset on the network. That's fine. And let's just do basic tweaks. Actually, let's clear that. I want to do a disk cleanup, and I think the rest will be fine. It did shift stuff around a little bit here, but overall, I like it. I like it. Okay. Let's make sure that does. I want to make a toggle too for the restore point so it doesn't always create restore points because some people don't like that. Try Alpine Linux sometimes. I use Alpine a lot for really simple things. Almost like containers. Let's just say like minimal VMs, Alpine is perfect for. Like I only wanted to do a couple things. I might spin up an Alpine VM and just spin it, toss a couple programs on there that need to just run. So I love Alpine. I don't think I'd daily drive it because I really don't like the APK package manager that comes with Alpine. I do love that it comes with OpenRC instead of systemd, and the fact it's so darn light. So Alpine Linux gets a big 2 thumbs up from me. But as far as daily driving Alpine, not my bag. I really like it for servers. I don't like it for desktops. Have you ever attempted to do win-git reinstall under config? Yeah, let's try it. Let's try it. That should be what most people need. I made a video, the last WinUtil video, where I put that. I think actually someone from chat was like, "Hey, can you make a button to fix win-git when it breaks?" Because the new versions of Windows has a broken win-git, and you're like, okay. I think we needed to clean up this space. I probably have a whole bunch of stuff in trash too. Alrighty. So that cleaned up that. Let's do config, win-git reinstall. This just reinstalls win-git. Does a little force reinstall. Obviously, we're good here. All right. Our legacy panel's still working good. Updates. Still going. Micro win. So we got the DIMG here. I think there was a hash problem, and I already did a commit on the test to fix the hash. So that should be good as well, because I think there was a localization problem if you were Spanish speaking, or oh, what was the other one? There was another localization problem with another language. Anyways, that should fix those as well. All right, that looks great. I really like this. Let's look at the other ones and fix those PRs. Spelling fix. This should be an easy one. Go into the test branch. We'll do an approve here. I don't think we need to, the XAML file should actually be fine. There'll be conflicts. There is no applications. No conflicts. And this one, all this was actually removed. So the new file looks something like this, with no actual editing needed. Some of the best programming I've seen comes from a lot of contributions from outside sources. Developer Derp did an amazing one with run spaces that made everything much more efficient, but also he broke everything out into modules. Because initially, before anybody was even contributing to the project, and it was just me, I dumped everything into one PS1 file, and I was just manually going to like line 2100 and doing an edit. And that was just terrible. Derp was the one that made it all modular and made it compile into that one PS1 file that people run. And then Conti has been great as well. Obviously, you can see right here, this just makes updating applications so much better. Look at this. There's not a whole bunch of garbage. Everything. This really should never even be edited anymore, which is so cool. So that should be good. We'll do a mark as resolved, commit. And if we look at the changes now, binary file not shown. What? Did it just wipe out everything? Binary file not found. It's a JSON file. It's not a binary. 1 second here. Let's go back to our commit. What did I do? Let's look at the original commit. So he's just doing WSL manager. The install of that, and I guess there's a typo. This one got fixed already, but the DOS boss and WSL manager had a problem. Just for whatever reason, it's not there. Let me look at that in our code editor here. I need to get this merged into the main branch ASAP before I get any more commits. Very, very cool though. Let's go WSL manager. So we got WSL. There should be a manager in here. Maybe not. I guess it got fixed, or it got removed. One of the two. What about DOSBox? Let me look at that change. All right. I'm gonna close this commit. Big program update. These changes aren't needed. Close with comment. Here's an update readme. Oh, there we go, Monk. I bet this is a good one. Yeah, okay, there we go. Yeah, in India, they block raw GitHub files. Super strange. 100%. That was just the README file, just that one line. And then let's finish this last one. Couple of micro issues. It's probably needed. We're doing /English. Don't know why the DISM has this /English. That's going to mess with some people, especially since for localization when they're not using an English sub. I don't know if I like that. And then for provision packaging, it looks like he's doing a counter. That actually probably is good. It looks like there's a try and a trap, basically, or a catch. And yeah, I'm just not sure on this English change with the DISM. I've honestly never even used the English tag there. That's very interesting. Oh, okay. So it does fix it with the Mexican and Spanish probably speaking. Okay, Dathis. That makes more sense then. So this would probably be okay. I think we should probably accept this change, and then let's just test it out. Um, let's approve. We can resolve this. I gotta find this. I really hate how this works, but whatever. I think it's just sync issues because of the sync version. I think it's those. Let's see, was there? Oh, and then we have all this, which we don't want. And what was the other one? And then we have all of these guys, which this is a different. Oh, jeez. One of these days, I'll get that going. All right, so here is the micro wind fix. How's that differ from our other one? I kind of want to take this and do a comparison side by side. Oh, and then we have, oh, I see. Yeah, because of how that, whatever. We're going to have to just accept whatever Conti has. Hopefully he updated it. If we lose a couple programs, we'll just add them back in. Because there's a new format to the JSON file based on the new autofilling. So you're not bouncing around and editing multiple files anymore when you need to do an edit. Let's see here. There should be an ending point to all this. Man, there's a lot of programs in here now. Come on. There's our test. All right. Cool. And that should be mark as resolved. Commit merge. It's good to hear, Pat. Like, yeah. I think it's kind of amazing to see where this has gone. Like, if you would have asked me back in 2020 when we were doing like the first iterations of Windows Utility, I think it was called Win10 script back then, I would have just said, hey, all it was there's many times where I'd set up, 10, 20 computers at my work, and I just need them have insane settings. That's all I wanted. So I just have a PS1 script that would just go through and change all the settings. And I've had that for years. I was like, well, this would be cool if I generalized it for everyone in the public to have sane Windows settings. And then I released it, and then everyone was like, well, your idea is sane and mine are different. I want to make these changes. So then I started adding questions in the script, and it was all CLI based at that time. And then it slowly just morphed. Everyone's like, well, now I want a GUI. And I was like, man, doing a GUI in a PowerShell script? I don't think I've ever really done that. Let's give it a whirl. And I did like win forms with like absolute values, which was awful. And then I did the very first conversion, and I was like, I have to do relative based stuff for scaling and other things. And I made the XAML portion of it. And then it just kind of took on a life of its own. When it got enough popularity, more and more people started piling into the project. Like I know UPad have made a lot of commits to it too. And it just spiraled into this amazing, crazy project now that has, geez, I think it's like 100 different. How many contributors we have now? Yeah, we have 82 different contributors, which is nuts. It's kind of wild. Some have come and gone over the. I haven't seen Carter for a good bit, but he was big in like 2022. I think there's a lot of commits, but I was still learning. I felt bad about Carter because he's a professional programmer, and he did a lot of really good commits for me, but I lost a lot of the commits because I sucked at GitHub in the beginning. So I think in like 2021 and 2022, there was a lot of pros that came in, but I couldn't accept their work, or I did accept their work and then their work got wiped out because of mismanagement on my part. And there was definitely some 2 steps forward, 1 step back moments like that as I learned GitHub and learned to take a lot of contributions at GitHub, because I think anyone can use GitHub, but when you start getting a bigger project, managing it and managing a ton of different contributors can be tricky, can be very tricky, especially if you don't stay on top of it. Like that's why like a lot of my streams are, hey, let's do some PRs because I'm like, oh God, I got to get these done. Otherwise it'll just spiral out. So every week I usually am jumping in here, making sure I'm squashing these and then merging into the main branch if it's good. So yeah, that's the gist of it. Okay. So this should be good. That should be good. Yeah, that looks good. Let's squash and merge. I think we're good here. I'm gonna go ahead and pull these changes, and then we're gonna do a merge after we get that. Let's fetch it. Pull. We'll just stash those. It doesn't matter. All right, we're good. You know what? I'm gonna just dump. Let's discard that. I want to do a compile as well, just to make sure that's good. And finally, make sure we're good here. So we have everything going. Ooh, I found a bug. Can anybody in chat tell me what's wrong with this? So there's one big issue that's going on with this. Nothing is alphabetized. It is all over the place. Look at this. Oh. Look at that. We need to figure out a way to alphabetize. Oh, man. It's a really good commit. We just gotta massage it a little bit. So we'll do like a for loop or something and then alphabetize these. Because, wow. It just kind of spit them out everywhere. Has anybody ever played Clone Hero, by the way? That's an amazing Guitar Hero on computer, basically. It's so much fun. It need a bubble sort algorithm. Let's see. How do we fix that? It would probably be in... All right, it'd be in this last commit. Let's take a peek. Where was that? Let's go to our test branch. Would have been in the Conti, fully data driver. It would be in the main.ps1 file. Check this. Okay, so we're gonna just take this section. All right. Let's feed that into old Chat GPT. Add alphabetization. Oh man, what alphabet? Yeah, that word to this sub. Oops. No. Alphabetical. I don't know what's going on. Brain's not working. You add, make it alphabetical. All right, there's that. And what it might be doing too, because it's using run spaces, which uses different threads, it might actually be spitting it out a little bit different. So it might actually be that. All right. So let's see what the big change is between the two. Okay. So it looks like the channels right here. Let's make that. So the 4-panel in organize.data keys probably be where it's changed. Let's see. Nope. The for each name organized right here. That looks like it is. Where's the sorted apps as well? Let's pull that in. So let's go main PS1. Where is that? I think it's all the way up at around 50, line 54 or so. Here we go. About line 60, actually. And then we got this. I think this, let's see. If we pull in this, I hate to grab all of it, but I think it'll be fine. And sorted apps equals that. Oh, we got somebody in chat. Let's see. Nope. Michael already took care of it. Bots in chat. I'm surprised we haven't got more of crazy raids and things of that nature. You're all part of my delusion. I can see that. All right, here we go. Let's see. Probably the easiest way. I know this is like totally not the way to do this, but I did have a compare. I can't remember where it was, but there was a addition I made to my VS Code where you could just say, hey, compare with clipboard. Maybe it was over here. Compare file with clipboard. Yeah, that was a file. But if we make this change, all right, let's look at here. The block XML gets pushed down to here after organized data. Okay. I mean, technically that should work. All right, let's do a compile here. Yes. There we go. I mean, it was like almost 100% there, just a little bit change. Thanks, ChatGPT. It's exactly what I needed. Look at that. ChatGPT did something correct, guys. It happens every once in a blue moon, but man, it feels good when it does. That is new. I've never seen it. I was like, all right, here comes the errors. I feel like we should go to Vegas and throw it all on, go to the roulette table and just toss it all on there. Because that was pretty lucky. Thumbs up for ChatGPT. All right, so there we go. We've got our alphabetical in order. I think we can do a commit on that. Fix app display to be alphabetical. I probably spelled that wrong, and someone's probably going to say something, but let's see. Any other bugs we can find? Should we do that for the same thing over here? Nah. Do need to clean this up. We'll leave that for another day. I'm calling you out. You spelled it wrong. Yeah. I always love it when people comment to me and like, English isn't my first language, but I have this question, and then they like articulate it so well. And I'm like, oh, well, you speak English better than me, and I was born here, so yeah, it's not that bad, man. just saying. That happens almost every day to me, where I'm like, nah, man, you did a good job with this email or that comment. I run into that a lot. I'm like, no, your English is great. Let's see. I think this is good. I think we're good. That's I think we're ready for our PR. Let's do it. There's that, and yeah. Oh, that was from our NixOS stream. And finally, this is good. Man, I can't believe that worked. What a lucky day. Man, today everything's just turning heads up. What a fantastic day. What a great first stream of 2024. Could not ask for a better result. Let's spit this out to live. Wait, it's behind? Huh. WinUtil PS1. Let's see. 186. What's that look like? Let's go WinUtil. Oh no, it's been fixed. Okay, great. I was like, that should be there. Let's create a pull request. Well, that's pulling it there. I don't need a pull. Let's come to test. We're gonna do a push from test over into there. Let's open a pull request. Test. New year. New update. All right, in this one we did this is a change from Conti. Make application .json, drive the GUI. No more editing two files. Conti, fix that one. What else do we have? Miscellaneous fixes in WinGit packages. Misspellings. All right. Hey, by the way, I think we need to do a typing test. I think I'm almost there. Can you display the current version somewhere in WinUtil so the user knows it got updated? Ooh, yeah, that's right. We used to do that. It's not there anymore, is it? Ah, yeah, because the title bar's gone. That's a good idea. I forgot that we killed the title bar. I have actually, this has gotten so much more polished that people are like, hey, I did your utility, but I can't uninstall it. I run into that all the time. I get so many people every week going, hey, how do I uninstall your utility? I'm like, bro, it's a script. It literally runs in memory, and as soon as you click the X button, it's gone. There is no installation. So yeah. Let's test more. Let's go. Get extensions. What's that? Let's try to install that. Looks to be going well there. All right. Well, that's good. Now let's uninstall it. Okay. Did that just uninstall Git? Oh, son of a biscuit eater. All right, well, I think it did install Git extensions, but oh well, we'll just install it again. Just break it. Make a fake output, deleting. Yeah, I should make a little button saying delete WinUtil. That would be the big brain move. Alrighty. We got that done. What else do we have here? Let's upgrade all. See how that's working. Been a little bit since my last update, and I think K-Lite had an update and some other stuff, so let's just see how this goes. Yeah, I need to think of a fun April 1st. I think the last April Fool's video I did was... Oh, geez, it's been a minute. I think it was like going back to Windows full time or something like that. But that was back when I just did Linux all the time. You're the only one I know that can break Debian. Yeah, it's true. It's very difficult, Michael. And I would say I never successfully completely broke Debian. Like, there's never been a time where I'm like, well, I really broke this one and it no longer boots. I've always been able to maybe break it a little bit, but I never have been able to get it to stay broken. I've always been able to come back from it. Did we, oh, I feel like that didn't work all the way. Maybe, let's try it again. Okay, I think it died halfway through. April's first when WinUtil no longer, no, that would make so many people mad. I couldn't. How do you stress test your system if you do? Mohammed, it's hard. Probably, there's a couple different tools. Many other YouTubers do it better than me. And I'm not much for benchmarking, but you could do, oh geez. Crystal disk benchmarks, what I use for a lot of hard disk testing. I really like it. And then for like CPUs and such and GPUs, I really don't check much. There's the basic tools like the 3D Mark stuff out there. Those are fun for GPU stuff. For the CPU side of things, what do I use? Do I even have it installed? Let's see, what do I have installed? Ooh, no. No, no, no. No. Why do I have that installed? Let me get rid of that. Now there's 3D Mark. Let's just do an app with CPL. I swear, if Microsoft redoes one more Windows, if they ever get rid of like the Windows 7 control panels, I'm just gonna lose my stuff. That would just make my life a living hell. Because I swear, all the Windows 7 GUIs are just light years ahead of everything we have today. Maybe I'm the only one that thinks that. Maybe I'm just an old man and I'm having a yelling at cloud moment. But I swear, this was peak computing. Because it feels like everything else they've done since has been worse. I mean, all the Windows 7 control panels, I still prefer them over what we have today. I don't know why. And again, maybe just because I like it, that's what I know. But I swear it's just faster. It's more efficient from like just an actions per minute standpoint. You can do more with less, and it seems to be just a better layout using the Windows 7. Just saying. There's less clicks, less submenus. It tends to work a lot better because it feels like all that new crap, like the settings menu from here, is just layered on top of the Windows 7 stuff, so it's interfacing with it anyways. I don't know. It just doesn't feel good using the new stuff. Just a slight headache. I don't see anything really. It's actually like, okay, so it took us there. What happens if we hit uninstall from here? See, well, obviously there's another installation happening in the background, but the point stands. This just works better than the other crap. The other crap tried to redirect me to another settings submenu, and this one just was like, yeah, let's uninstall that. So, and it would have uninstalled if I wasn't doing all these upgrades in the background. Yeah, so I don't know what's up with that. Chris Barnett from Explain Computer says if you can get After Effects to run on Linux, he'd ditch Windows forever. I don't see that happening, though. I don't see Adobe ever embracing Linux. I mean, don't get me wrong. That'd be great if they did, but I just don't see that happening. Yeah, I mean, getting things to run is one thing. Like if you, we can have a little come to Jesus moment here when it comes to Adobe and Linux. If you want to do it and you want to use Adobe, one, I'm going to judge you a little bit here. It's Adobe, but I get it. Some people made entire careers out of the Adobe suite, so I'm not going to harp on it too much. But if you just use the unofficial wrapper that kind of emulates Windows and you can launch it directly without a Adobe subscription, you might go that route. You can kind of get that working pretty well using Wine and Adobe in Linux. It's still not the same though. It still doesn't feel good. And there's a lot more crashes, of course, because you're using a compatibility layer. But it is doable. But I don't think I would live in it. If it was my livelihood and I was doing it for a business, I would never ever use Adobe in Linux. Yeah, it works, but not great. I think that's the best way to put it. And getting it to work can be a huge headache, depending on the install. Some more than others. But I mean, for me personally, I just use GIMP these days. And as much, it's kind of funny. If you look back on my very first 30 days in Linux, I think like half of all those videos was me for the first 2 minutes crapping on GIMP and saying I want Photoshop. But after like 2 months, I mean, I just use GIMP all the time now. And it works pretty good. And it just, it does everything I want. So all my thumbnails, everything's done in GIMP. And I really don't I have like special weird workflows where I just don't ever touch an Adobe product. Oh, NixOS we'll do on Thursday. It's on the other drive. I have 2 NVMe drives now. I think they're both 1 or 2 terabytes. I can't remember offhand. But those are the ones I usually go with. I work for Adobe and I hate everything about it. The people and the software. That is the best comment ever, Toll. Thank you. Thank you for confirming what I already thought. I bet you Adobe's run by a bunch of marketers. I bet you the entire C-suite at Adobe is just a bunch of frat bros that are like, it's like a generations of frat bros through the entire things. Each one has like an MBA, and they're like, I've run companies and blah blah blah, but they couldn't like code one line to save their life. I guarantee you that's what Adobe's like. It's honestly a lot of businesses, but Adobe especially, because it just seems like, how can we squeeze just a couple more dollars from our users? Let's brainstorm about this for 3 months. Wait a second, we have bugs, everything's crashing and doesn't work quite as well as the competition. Yeah, we don't care about that. We just want to charge our users more money. That's what I think I envision every single meeting at Adobe being like. Oh man. Yeah, I mean Adobe, like, I do crap on it, but Photoshop, the generative fill is pretty good. There's a couple other things about Photoshop that I understand. It's still the market standard. It's not going to stop me from crapping on it, and their software as a service model can go die in a fire. I just hate it so much. Oh, but yeah, it's still market standard. But GIMP is pretty good for being free. What's the other one? Does anybody use Affinity? I think it is. Over on Mac, it's the Photoshop Mac version kind of thing. It's like a complementary to Final Cut and some other ones. I don't know. Affinity looked neat, and it looked very, very much like Photoshop. It could be another good alternative, and I think it was a buy software, not a subscription based. Paint.net. You and your Mac. I'm not talking to you anymore. I am now turning into an Apple fanboy. Not really. But I don't know. There's some things Mac does well. Doing Final Cut, when it comes to comparing it to Adobe, I would take like Affinity, and I think I'm saying that right. We're going to have to check this out. Let's go. Affinity, Mac Photo. What was it? It's award-winning software. The photo editor you've been dreaming of. Yeah, this is it. Affinity Photo 2. And I think this is Mac only. No subscription. And I think it was, yeah, $70. That's pretty darn good. And I don't know. It seemed like it had most of Adobe's features. And yeah, it's not free, but it seemed like it did everything that Photoshop does. So why use Adobe if this is something, if let's say I was making this my business and I needed those extra features that I couldn't get in FOSS with GIMP, I would go this route. I would much rather learn this than Photoshop. After Effects is kind of I don't know. I'm not a big fan of After Effects. I bet it does. Oh, so they have a Windows model, a Mac model, $70, or you go the Universal and you get everything. One-off payment. That's it. You don't rent this. You rent your Adobe. Does it do texture 3D? Let's see. Affinity, texture, 3D models. Can I make a 3D texture map in Affinity? Well, there's other alternatives. Crazy bump for this. Not what I mean. Okay. Well, I'm just saying, before you sell your soul to Adobe, you might consider Affinity. It might be just as good. Maybe. I mean, any chance I can push someone from an Adobe product into pretty much anything else, I'm going to do it. And I will definitely try it myself. Because I absolutely hate Adobe with a dire passion. This stream's not sponsored by Adobe, if anybody was wondering. And this one was done by Code Wonders. Can I wonder. I can't add them. I kind of want to give. Oh, maybe I can. Maybe Conti's in here. Yeah, Conti's there. I wonder why I can't do coding. Oh, Coding Wonders. I was just spelling it wrong. Coding Wonders. He didn't pop up. But anyways. Anybody else in here? We should be pretty good. Wrong hash. That was Julio. Alrighty. And then fix OSC DIMG hash verification at Julio. All right. Not Julio. Not Julio, not Julius. Okay. Well, thank you for the correction. Hopefully you didn't see that. All right. Making sure I spell everything right. Look at me, doing good. I think we'll create this pull request. Boop, boop, boop. Looks good. We do need to fix unit testing too. Oh my gosh, unit testing for sure. All right. And let's just do another quick revamp. See if there's anything special. That was a hash error we fixed. These were the micro win fixes. All right, OCS DIMG fixes. Then we have the data-driven stuff from Conti. And the rest is looking great. Perfect. Let's merge it. Send it out into the ether. It is now live to thousands and thousands of people. That felt like a good commit though. Ooh, that does feel great. I wonder what happened with this. 2 minutes to start up. Oh. Ran into this. Setting event logged automatic and rebooting fixed it. Okay. I need to fix that too. We'll do some micro win fixes. We'll do that another day. I feel like this is a pretty good run through. Yeah, I think we can delete the old branch. Let's do that. All right, this is all merged. Delete that. We'll create a new branch. We'll call this. Oh man, look at this. Test 2024 01. Oh, what is this? 02. Create the new branch. First one of 2024. All right. That looks good. Nice. Stop all postponement. Kindness is as important as knowledge. Well, that's a good message of the day. I like it. All right. Well, cool. I think we got all that in for MicroWin. Another big update coming through. Let's go ahead and switch our local stuff, and then we'll do our testing. I'm just going to go to the main branch. We're going to pull the origin, fetch it. I like to do this. I'm just going to get in the habit of doing this because I had one where I screwed up and I had to do a rebase because I was on an old version after I did a PR. And then I was like, oh no, I got to change these. And then, oh, it was a huge mess. So I made sure to grab the new version of that. And now let's do a test. Make sure we can go like IRM and see what we get. All right. Now, how do we test? What do we change that we can verify? Let's go to tweaks. And I think this changed over here, moving DNS, so it does look like it is the new version. Anything else to look at? All right. Well, I dig it. I dig it. And I think anybody else have any issues with this? If they launch it, it should be good. Oh, that's right. We forgot about that for downloading the ISO from Microsoft. Last time you gave up on it. Oh, that's right. I was having a bad day that day. Yeah, that's a good one. I think we were doing... Ooh, where was that? I think it was in the README section. I feel like the easiest way to grab that would probably be like a button of some sort. Yeah, a version number in the UI. I do want that probably the most. Out of everything going on, I think that's pretty important. All right, where in the world would we want to add that? Probably in the XAML file itself. And if we look, I think we could write it in... So we have the Windows utility, and then if we could add the version number, how do we pass the value to the XAML file? Let's see. Well, let's go Copilot, and let's go fix this. And what I want to do, add program version to title. Let's see what that gives me. Oh, can we do like a Git? I wanted to try the chat. Was it GitHub? Ah, okay. Let's go. Yeah, this is just explain the code. Code does the following. Show example code. I wanted to see if there was a way to prompt it to like ask it to chat. Like instead of going to Chat GPT. Oh, okay. Let's try and do add program version. Actually, let's get the variable we're using. I think it's sync.version. So we pull it from the run space, but it actually, when we do that compile, it adds the new versioning in there. And that's the date is what it is. And it always, every time I'm doing a merge, it always is something I have to change. Yeah. So sync.version. Yeah, so this is set the title bar to title bar. Do we have a settings.json? So there's a sync.version on the window title. I don't think we have a JSON of settings.json, do we? No, we don't. Yeah, smoking crack on that one, but let's go over here just to verify what this looks like. Yeah, we don't even have that title at all. Oh, VS Code title bar. Yeah, that's right. So the XAML title doesn't show. If it did, I think we did it just because it makes it look cooler. But where will we put it? Let's ask you guys. You guys have better taste than me. Where here, because there is no title bar, where should we put the version? Like maybe up here? What do y'all think? I feel like, or we could put it to the left of install, between the logo and install. Or should we go right of the search box? Right side of search box, okay. We could do it in about. We could make this clickable, and then you click it for the about version. Maybe a whole new prompt. I mean, that's kind of overdoing it, but... Well, let's see. I think let's do a poll. I think this is the easiest way to do it. Everyone's got such good, what is it? I'm drawing a blank. Where was that site? Where was that site? Straw poll. That was it. Thank you. I was like, man, I can't remember. CO2 levels rising. I'm getting mind fog. I'm spilling out too much hot air over here. All right. Best spot for the version number. All right. Right of search. Between logo and install. Separate about page. Create poll. I'm gonna go right of search probably. I think that would be probably the easiest. All right, let's go results and share with you wonderful people. Here we go. Yeah, we could put a tooltip on the logo. That seems like a good idea. I think that'd be like, we can put that on the separate about page if we want. Yeah, I think that's, a lot of people are saying right of search. Okay. Yeah, I think the main problem with the Twitch poll, like I don't mind doing it on Twitch, but I think mobile users can't vote. So a lot of mobile users are like, hey man, I'm watching you on my phone. I can't vote in the poll. So that's why I usually do the straw poll. I might create like a bot and then just do it with like 1s and 2s and 3s in chat. We could also do it that way as well. What do you guys think? Although that would spam chat for a little bit. I like keeping chat as clean as possible, but it's an option. A lot of people don't like clicking and going outside to vote on something, so just typing it in chat's very convenient. You just lose a little bit of uniformity. Yeah, you can vote on mobile if you just click on the link I put in chat. Straw poll works on mobile. That's why I do it through straw poll instead of through Twitch. Yeah, I think with Twitch, you can actually, when you make the poll, you can say allow bits to be used. So, like, let's say someone wants to skew the poll in a Twitch poll, they could actually spend money and skew the poll, which typically I don't like, and I don't usually leave that option on just because I kind of want to know what the general consensus is, not what one person wants me to think. So that's why I usually don't allow bits on polls. Yeah, there's a couple things I've been looking at for the channel points. I wanted to make something kind of unique for it, and there was new software called, I think, StreamerBot. I think it's open source on GitHub, and there'd be some fun things, like I was gonna do like a noir version that you could just change, and other things to kind of mess with me. Um, Maybe I make it like 1,000 or something. If I can make it interface with my light, we could go and blow out everything, which would be kind of cool as well. I mean, this would be a fun one. So, like, let's say now that I got the studio light, we could make it blind Titus for a little bit. So I'm gonna actually look away real fast so I don't kill myself or burn out my retinas. So I just have my light up here, but if I go full, just make it so it does that for like 10 seconds in like a bot format, and then comes back. I think that would be kind of fun. So I have some ideas for channel redemptions that would be hilarious. Because that new light I got is it's used by photographers to light massive rooms, and this is not a massive room. It's about 80 square feet, or converting that to metric units, I don't know, like 25 square meters. I mean, so it's a pretty small room. uh, yeah. But I like it. It's like my little man cave in here. I've grown it. You need a reflector. Yeah, and you point the light that way instead of here. Right now I'm using the diffuser, Michael. The diffuser works pretty well. I think a reflector probably would be better though. And I think it would spread the light even more even. But overall, I do notice a big difference in this light compared to the cheapo lights I was using. Yeah, right now I really enjoy the current setup with the green screen. I think this is about as good as you can get for green screen. It's very crisp. There's no bleed. Heck, just doing that, you can see a little bit of bleed, but not much. That's pretty good. What are you using for a green screen? It's just like a pull down. Think of a projector screen, and I just pull it down. So then whenever it ends, I can just pull it up, and then you don't even know. How many lights are you using for the green screening? So I have the main light there. I have a light I'm bouncing and going through a diffuser over here. And then on each side of me, I have a very, very small light to try to balance it on the green screen. But those are behind me, and they're just kind of lighting that green screen evenly. So there's no real light or dark spots on the green screen. If I had a bigger room, you could do it with a lot less lights. It's just, this room's so small, it's hard to spread the light evenly without hitting like hot spots or low spots or dark spots. So that's why I have as many lights as I do. That I just have slowly added to it over the years. Yeah, I think the points are still going in the background, Z80, but I disabled them for now until I can get a good thing going. All right, let's go right of search. I think we've got the version number. I think that's where the consensus is to put it right here. So let's go and try and make a version. Let's see. How many lines is this? So we got 1,000 lines. We can't feed that into like Chat GPT. I mean, that was so cool. But it does not quite work. All right. Oh, you can do tests. Add unit tests for my code. What's that do? Tests. Let's say add. Can we do like sync? Or actually, sync.version to the input XAML file to the right of the search bar. Let's see if it can do it. I think it'll error out on me, but it's worth trying. I would love it for chat just to work. Oh, wait. Really? Label.content. Does that work? You need to replace local with the actual namespace where your sync class is located. Ah, okay. So the namespace should be, I think X colon type. No, that's not it. Let's see. Do we already have an example in our code? Let's look. Surely we are using that. So we're pulling in stuff from the JSON file here. Be down here. Template binding. Oh, Monk actually got it. Okay. Well, let's take a look at what Monk came up with. Just grab that. No. Ah. So right where the image is, we have the grid. Let's see how this looks. All right. Go away, chat. Not helpful. Let's find our logo. So here is our logo for the doc. Log on. Okay. So right here. And we'll just do it as a grid. So here's the image. So instead, I'm going to do that. That does look ugly, doesn't it? Let's clean up some of this code. Don't like that. Let's just get that there. All right. That looks good. And let's just tab this guy over. All right, let's see what this looks like. Let's take a peek. All right. Current version. So the text is just going to say current version. Let's see what this looks like. Let's do a compile. All right, close this. Ah. Oh, I'm not in the right directory. That would make a difference. All right. Oops. What happened there? It did not like that grid. Wait. Oh, oops. I was hitting Control X. I was like, why is it doing that? Okay. All right. Let's come back here. Alignment, horizontal. And we have our grid right here. And then there's the button, transparent, main color. Where's that button at for the dock panel? Oops. What did I do? The main one's not broken, right? No. Surely not. It might just be... Sometimes it does this where it just starts messing up. It's something with the run spaces, but... well, let's just make sure. I'm going to do a relaunch of the main one. Just make sure that works. Okay. That's working good. And now let's go over to GitHub. And WinUtil. Huh. What did I do? That's why I love GitHub. Oh. Discard changes. Discard changes. That was all my fault. I did like a Chat GPT thing, and that's what happens. So it'll work now. Yeah, the Chat GPT decided to add a bunch of it just pasted a bunch of nonsense in there that broke the code. So that wasn't on you, Monk. I totally fudged it. All right, let's see what this would look like. Oh, okay. What do you think of that, chat? The current version being under the logo? I kind of like that. Yeah. Let's grab the raw file. That's what I did last time. And we'll just grab the image here. And we'll paste that in. Let's just fix that. Grid, and I'm gonna take this in a little bit. Fix some of the formatting so it doesn't look like it has all this extra spaces, and I don't like how that's over there. Clean it up a little bit. So that's the current version, and then we just need to pull that in. Let's take a peek at how to do that. So now if we do a compile and look, it would look like that. Okay. I like that. One issue I'm having right now. Let's copy this actually. I forgot to put this to the main. Let's go to the testing branch. Fetch. Origin test. We'll switch and bring our stuff to the test branch. Yeah, it's just a placeholder. But I don't want, we're not gonna make it to where I'm typing the number in. I want it to auto do it because there's already a variable that gets changed every time a compile happens. See how it says the version numbering right here? Now this version numbering isn't exactly perfect, but once you understand it, it makes sense. This is the year, this is the month, this is the day. And we're just pulling in the sync version variable. How do I grab that and put it? Let's see. If I go Copilot, start inline chat, how do I take this variable into the XAML? Binding version. It can't be that simple, right? Let's copy that. We're going to discard that. So it says ChatGPT says we can just go binding version. Yeah, I never liked the rationale why. I think some people get confused with version numbering in programming or any kind of data, really. You never see day, month, year, or you never see month, day, year. Like most people see, like in the bottom right over here, normal people are like, why isn't it like month, day, year? Because you want it thinking it from a data sorting perspective. You want to sort by year, and then by month, and then by day. So it's always year, month, day. And that's why, like, anytime you see any kind of code, it's always going to be year, month, day. So it's just a standard. And even like non-programmers, if you want to sort data, even regular just analytical people will just start labeling stuff that way, so then they can just sort by name, and then the name will sort it all properly. You don't even need to do like date modified or date created or any of that business, because the date's baked in that way. It makes a lot of sense. So to me it makes sense, but I think here in America a lot of people have that way of doing it with the month, day, year, and I just never liked that method, especially when it comes to sorting. Yeah, databases, file naming, all that. It's just something that I think everyone, after you've sorted a little bit, you immediately pick up on that name scheme, and you're like, oh, this is so much better. All my homies save data with Unix timestamps. All right, let's try this out. I don't think this is gonna work, but it's worth a shot. ChatGPT came through with us earlier, so let's see where we're at. I need to stop closing my terminal. Let's do a compile. No, got nothing. That doesn't display. Okay. Oh, pilot. This doesn't display the sync.version variable. Oh, actually, you know what? Let's discard this. Let's go to our WinUtil. Let's go binding version. Why I'm doing it from the WinUtil side of things is it can read the whole file. Maybe that will be better for ChatGPT. So we're going to go right here. We're going to go fix it. And then say, this isn't pulling in sync dot version. Okay, that didn't work. Let's try an inline chat. This to use sync dot version variable. Does that work? I don't think that'll work, but maybe. I feel like that's gonna error. I don't think you need the binding. So, I mean, we can try it. Because when I'm looking at this, let's see where... Let's discard that. Let's see where these other ones are coming. Because this is getting pulled from somewhere. Where's this getting declared? Oh, I think it's actually getting declared in sync.config themes. Classic. So maybe we push the variable there with like a sync.configs, and then we add the themes. And I think we could actually specify a variable in here. Maybe. Because I don't think... Well, let's try it. Let's try it. This is the best way to... It'll probably break it 100%, but it's worth a shot. So let's go binding version. All right, there it is. And if we do sync.version, save that. I know that XAML's not going to read that. Let's go ahead and compile, but I'm almost 100% here. Yeah, I was like, no way. Yeah, I didn't think ChatGPT could do it, or Copilot for that matter. I thought, it would be nice, but let's give it a whirl. I think what we do here is find a way to modify, because if you look at like sync.config, I think it is. So you have this gets pulled in. And if we look at our applications, okay. We got our tweaks down here. This is just pulling in from our JSON. Let's come down a little bit more. And you should be able to pull in, like, you see how it's like PS item right here? And I think there's a declaration statement in here where we can just add the versioning in, and it should pull it in, and then we can just type for uppercase version, and it should grab that. There's a presets checkbox right in here. So see how we're doing like the applications, the DNS, the features, and then we have the presets. That's the preset checkboxes. And then the theme. So technically, I think what we could do here is just add in the versioning where there's classic theme, and this gets all added. Now, I think we just do a comma and then do uppercase version. And then I don't know if we could pass the variable here, but might be worth a shot. Yeah, so I think that's what it is. Now I'm looking at my code here just to see if there's an example that we could pull from where we're passing a variable directly in. And I think we saw it up here with like PS item, which if we look, okay, went a little too far. There's the tweaks, but if we look up a little bit more, you can see us use, there's feature. Let's keep going. And there's applications. But right in here is where you see syncconfigs.application. And, all right. Oh, you had no network inside. Yeah, Bloody, I think I'm going to have to redo a lot of the presets in that micro win. There's a couple settings in there that aren't quite right. But we'll get there. I probably pushed that out a little too early. It's not quite 100% baked. I know like the event log service being set to manual or disabled also causes like Explorer to stop responding. There's a couple other little gotchas. I need to work through some of those issues. I'll probably do that offline just because it's kind of boring to see me do issues on stream. But definitely on my to-do list. Oh, let's see. Where should I put this? Yeah, it's a lot harder to work with a lot of the run space. Adding run spaces with a GUI environment in PowerShell is definitely a difficult endeavor, to say the least. It was much simpler when it was just all simple text out on the screen, right host, those types of things. Very, very easy to do. And as soon as I figure it out, it'll change again, and then I'll be back to figuring it out again. That's just typically how that goes, which is fine. I think what I'll do, I'm going to try to throw it in the preset here. I just don't think this can grab the value because of the absolute, the single quotation. I don't think it's going to be able to grab the variable. We can try it. Let's just do, what is this, classic? Actually, let's see. I think we're on matrix, actually. Yeah, matrix. Let's try and do like a comma version. And so I would see something like that. And then from your input, XAML, actually this needs to happen. Let's find this guy. Where are you? Let's just go Control-Shift-F. We should see shadow pulse somewhere other than WinUtil. No? Okay. This should be pulling in from other sources, but maybe not. So this right here, instead of sync version, we would just write version like that. But this would be in brackets. So something like this. Let's look for shadow pulse now. So if we just go Control-Shift, shadow pulse, and themes.json right here. And I think we should be able to go version and sync.version. I don't think it's going to be able to pull that in. So maybe, no, we can try it. So there, and we're going to need a comma. So we have that. We'll try and pull in the versioning right there. And then from the input XAML, we're pulling in version here. We would need to modify this for each one of the themes. But I feel like that if it can pull in the variable from the JSON, that's a big if. I just don't know if it'll read it properly. Let's see what the compile looks like. Oh, okay. It did pull it in. It just didn't grab the version. So we have to figure out a way to grab the variable. It's that one single quote that's causing it. So let's look at that. What would be brackets? Let's try doing brackets. Yeah, on the JSON. That might work. So we'll do open bracket, close bracket. I don't know. Well, we might even spit out a compile error on that. Yeah. Yeah, I didn't think that would work. Just because of it's parsing it. So technically, what this should do, like doing a single quote, and that probably will spit out an error. But I need a way for it to escape out of the program, grab the version, then come back and fill it in with the proper value. I just don't know. Yeah, just pulling in this variable from the JSON's difficult. But I need that. And honestly, maybe we make it part of the compile script where it changes it. That would probably be the easiest thing. Why wouldn't we just do that? That makes more sense to me. Because during the compilation, it creates that version number and then it adds it to the WinUtil.ps1. Why am I trying to add it here? I'm overthinking it, as always. So we don't modify the theme. That's silly. And this versioning, well, that's great and all, but don't really need to. I'll leave it in where it says the version. But what we do is we'll track it down. Because now if we do the compile, it should just say version, right? WinUtil. Oops. What did I do? Compile? Okay, what did I fudge something up? What did I do? That's fine. It must be pulling in like a cached file. Sometimes that happens when you leave a terminal open too long and you have to close it and reopen it. That should work just fine. And if not, what we can do is just delete. Save that. And now we should see version. Perfect. Okay. Yeah, the version was breaking it. Let's see what the GPT suggestion is that you got here. Binding source. Really? Would that work? I mean, heck, worth a shot. Let's see what it does. Let's see what that grabs. This is just such a complex solution, but yeah, I didn't think that would work. Worth a shot, but I think the best solution here would be just to do it the other way through the compile script. Make sure we're back to square one with the version. Perfect. So my idea here is we take the unit, the compile unit, or the script, which if we look at here, we go into compile. And this is where I think what we'll do is make this a little more unique. CTT version like that, all one word. Because I don't want another version popping up. And when it's doing the compilation, I want it to find and replace scripts.startps1. Let's look at start PS1. Grab this. Version replace me. So it's grabbing this and replacing that value. And for the XAML, what we'll do is the dot replace. So we're getting child item right here. We get content dot full name replace quotes with that. And I think we could do the find. So my thought process here is, and this one I think I'm gonna just use GPT for. So we'll go GPT, find CTT version in a XAML file and replace with this one right here. Where are you at? Okay. Oh man. Okay, let's delete this. Delete this. All right. Let me just do this. Find. Oh no, that's not it. Is it shift enter? Ah, it's shift enter. My bad. I keep hitting control enter. We could repeat that, yeah. So this one right here, the dot replace for the start.ps1. So this is child option for each object. So let's say I want to do this. Okay, copy. Just replace this line. And instead of scripts, we're going to pull in XAML. And that's going to be input XAML.xaml. And then we're going to find and replace CTT version. The thing I'm unsure about here is by doing this, I don't think it's going to write back to the XAML file itself. And that might, when it does the get child item, I don't think it's going to be the change. But I mean, we can take a look. Because I think this is going to grab and append all of this. But this is completely separate. Like the get child item, it's going to duplicate things. So that's not going to work just pulling that in. You guys get what I'm throwing down there? Yeah, the thing is, Monk, it's not writing out to the input XAML. It's writing out to WinUtil.ps1. So then what it does is it's pulling an input XAML twice. So then you got two iterations of it in the file. And one's a bad iteration because this one's doing a child item, where this one's just grabbing all of the content, where this one's formatting it properly. That's why this duplicate won't work. So I'm actually not going to do that. Let's take this function in. Yeah, it's just something I was kind of working through in my head. Yeah, exactly, Nano. So I don't need to do that. So what I do, modify this code to replace CTT version text with sync dot let's just do the same output as that up here, like so. I feel like this would be a better way of doing it. So we have that, and we're gonna go to the next line. And what I'm gonna do is just grab this one little baby section and just say, hey, modify this for me and see what it spits out. So it's just one line. Easy peasy. It's really just modifying this right here. Very subtle modification, but pretty much what I need. I don't know why that took me so long, but let's see. I got a good feeling about this now. There we go. Easy. So now we have the version number up in the top left. What do y'all think about that? Now we understand how it works and a good way to do the compilation. What do we think? It's a little bit ugly, but not that bad. And you get the version number. Ship it. Convenient, out of the way, it's there. Now people know what version it is. Isn't it wrong to use GPT if you use Linux and only one FOSS? You can use an API through terminal. Spin your own GPT. It's ugly. I know, Michael, I know. I would put it next to search box. Let's see what it looks like next to search box. But if we want to add like buttons and stuff down the road, I don't want it cluttering it up. Yes, I know. The search box did win in the poll. All right, let's gotta at least for chat. Let's at least fix it for chat. All right. You guys win. All right. Let's just take this. What I'm going to do is we're going to do it twice, actually. So we got our text block, and we will grab it after that. Got our button, grid. Bam. Let's go CTT version. Margin, I think we're gonna put what is the padding? I don't like the margins here, so let's modify that. I think in my brain we're gonna go with like a 0 margin there. What is most text blocks? Push it over 10. I think we'll push it over 10. All right, let's do that. We're gonna leave both so we can actually see kind of what they look like, and we have just a direct comparison. Then we can just kill which whenever we like. The button. The button was the close button. I just pushed it over. This actually needs to go beforehand. 1 second. My bad on that one. Let's go here with it. Vertical alignment, let's go center. Horizontal alignment, let's go to the left. Otherwise it's, we can go center. Center. Text. Version. I feel like adding the word version would be perfect. And then it would center between the button and then the text. So then it would kind of be just floating. And it'd be dynamic, so it would shift depending on how small or big your screen is. I like that a little bit better. As far as other text, no, I like it. I like it. All right, let's ship that. Let's see what we got. Ooh, I don't know, guys. I think chat was right. I think adding it to the right of the search box is the way to go. You all right. You're all right. I agree. I agree. That's the way to go. I'm under the logo guy. I'll take it to my grave. Nothing wrong. I mean, the logo was cool too. Should we do one last? I think we all know what the thing is, but I don't know. What do you guys think? You totally are gonna lose the poll. I don't think you're gonna do it. All right, I think we'll get rid of the one under the logo. We'll keep the version on the right side. Call it a day. I like it. Let's just take this guy back, and we're gonna kill this text block. Let's move this guy over one. Shift tab, and that should fix our grid. Let's do another compile and test. I like it. It's pretty clean, pretty minimal. We got the version up there, and we are solid. Awesome sauce. Add version to app display. Commit it. Push it. We're keeping the one to the right. I think it makes sense. The one problem with putting it below the logo is, one, we would need to shrink the logo, and it would add more header space, which means loss of space in the application itself. So putting it to the right of the search bar makes most logical sense. That, and I liked adding the word version, because there's a lot of normies that use the app too that might just see numbers like that and go, what are all these numbers? I don't know what that is. Programmers would get it, but I think a lot of normal people wouldn't. So adding version and then the number makes people correlate it and go, oh, okay, well, that number's changed. Some people won't even put together that it's a date. They'll just be like, oh, that's the version of the application. So in your way, you're helping us not be stressed for Windows stuff. Trying, Outplayed, trying 100%. Oh, man. All right, guys. Well, I think that was a very successful WinUtil. For Thursday's stream, we're going to be doing some NixOS. We got to return to NixOS and fix it up. Get our synergy going. I think we're still having like auto jump errors. We do need to re-upload and fix some of the public GitHub projects. So if you want to reproduce my spin of NixOS, you can. Because there was a lot of things with that stream where I was like, oh, crap, that changed. I need to update it. So updating it to the latest version and then doing a commit over on our NixOS will be Thursday stream. And we'll return back to our WinUtil work probably next week or so. And I still need to, I'm going to try and get through some of the issues and other things that are going on as well. The test branch, I've only, is such a minor commit with the version number that'll just be on whatever we merge to main again. Usually I only do a big main merge when we have a lot of changes, or we have a good amount of changes going on. But right now I feel like that's, test, there's not that many changes going on with that. Just adding the version. I think that's not enough to do a main PR today. Yeah. The game streams too. I've been doing that with Age of Empires, so you'll see more of them. Typically, I try to space those out, so if you see me streaming and it's not Tuesday or Thursday, it's going to be a game stream, usually. There'll be some exceptions here and there, but I've been really just loving that, and that's just my way of kind of chilling. You're more than welcome to stop by, say hello, ask a question or two, but just know, you might see me sitting here going, "Oh my gosh, I got an army invading and doing that." Those are just fun little one-offs and something I've just kind of added to it, and I've really enjoyed that. And I found something. I had a huge losing streak, and I found like this build. I was on the ladder and someone just destroyed me with it, and I went and I was like, this is so broken. And instead of just saying this game's broken, of course I just stole this guy's build and I've just been destroying folks left and right using it. I think I've gone on like a 10-game win streak or something like that. It's been nuts, and I've had a lot of fun with that. So the next game stream I'll probably show that off. I need to probably do a gaming channel for Age of Empires 4. That would be kind of fun. Although I don't want to monetize it too much. I don't want it to be work. I always want it to just be kind of like a one-off thing and fun. I have a hard time with that sometimes. All right, guys. I'm going to shut it down for today. Thank you all for staying with me, checking it out. This was a really successful stream. I didn't get really that stumped, and we didn't do a bunch of bad PRs like normal. And everything turned out just fantastic on this new year. I hope you all have a great 2024. We set some goals at the beginning. We'll see how far I stick with them. We'll follow back up on them maybe in 2025. But man, crushed it for the very first stream of the day. All right, y'all. Peace.